everybody, and welcome to Casters and Cthulhu. Genius Loki. I am your keeper. I swear I did. I
use a
practiced so many
keypad.
times.
Oh.
I'm the keeper with a keypad. More IOBs. How's it going? Nice to see everybody. Really excited to run the scenario for everybody. But before we do, let's introduce our investigators. So, Briggsy, you are up first.
Hola, me llamo BriggsyCakes. My name is BriggsyCakes, better known as Briggsy. I am a shit poster by trade, but I also do a little bit of journalism, a little bit of content creation, a little bit of streaming. And I will be I identify as she, they, or they, them. Honestly, any pronouns doesn't matter. Points don't matter, just like who's lying. I will be playing Peachy Keen, aka Peachy Keen, which is a very tanky kind of drifter. She's a little tattooed, little drifty kind of woman. Had kind of a hard knock life, been in an asylum for a few weeks, came out, and now she's just trying to live her best life on the mean streets of 1925.
Fantastic. Sam, you are up next.
All right, if we're introducing ourselves in other languages, bonjour, je m'appelle Seum, and I actually stream on Twitch Monday through Friday. I am very excited to play this campaign. I play Eliza Beth Bourgeois. She is born and raised in Louisiana, and she's actually a bit of an introvert, but she dabbles in like herbalism because she had family that was always in the hospital and wanted to find remedies that worked really well for them. So that's where she's at, but she had a curious mind at a little bookstore one day, and it all starts there.
Ooh, looking forward to learning more. And Legday, you are last.
Hi, I'm Legday. I'm a caster for the Overwatch League, and on a couple of the programs here on Casters and Castles. Today I'll be playing Theodore Warner, who is a veteran of the Great War who's come over to America after having lost his son in the exact same conflict and trying to get away from a family that blamed him for not being able to protect the son.
Yo, what the fuck? Nah.
Fantastic.
Oh my god.
And everything, all the audio sounds good. Sounds great.
Sorry, that threw me off.
So for those of you that don't know, this is running like Call of Cthulhu rule set. The TLDR of that is there's eldritch horrors. You are humans taking on things you may or may not understand. The name of the game is to roll low. If the lower you roll, the better your success is. And you don't want to roll high or else some fun things will happen, at least for me. So, with that in mind, there's also hit points like you would expect from like D&D or something. There's also a sanity mechanic, in which case our investigators may have the chance to go a little bit insane, just a little bit. Not too. Oh no, sorry. Also, if you're in Twitch chat right now, you can also redeem advantages and disadvantages. I say that because Briggsy just got a disadvantage. Yeah.
Worth it.
Unlucky. But we'll deal with that in a little bit. So yes, so as you guys saw in the intro, and as you guys see on screen right now, our investigators are all friends with a one Larry Croswell. He's the Bard of the Bazaar, writer about the supernatural in New England. And Peachy, if you could please kind of explain how you and Larry know each other.
Well, Peachy Keen actually had just was released from an asylum not too long ago, probably about a week ago, and so she's been kind of drifting, kind of earning money because she's kind of a tattooed lady. She's very tall, tattoos kind of all over her body, which is very rare, obviously, in 1925. You know, she kind of modeled herself off the tattooed lady in the circus, who she found fascinating. So she's just kind of wandering around, just sort of, earning money just by basically showing her body off, without even anybody having to touch her. But she encountered Larry after reading his book while she was in the asylum and was very fascinated with his writing and sought out to meet him. And when she finally did, due to the fact that the reason why she was in the asylum in the first place was because she was accused of murdering her fiancé. Because her fiancé had actually proposed to her on top of the Delaware River Bridge, but accidentally fell, as he was one of the 15 casualties of those who were trying to construct that bridge. So she was accused of his murder, but even though she was acquitted of this murder, she was driven insane while being a resident at Trenton Psychiatry Hospital. And she read his book, so she sought him out because she wants to see if she can talk to her fiance again so she can find some sort of closure.
Fantastic. Sam, how does Eliza know Larry?
So Eliza knows Larry because, as I had mentioned, she frequented a bookstore, and it just so happened that Larry was there for a book signing. And normally, what she is venturing for is things that are more on herbalism and that, basically. But coming across this book signing, not knowing who this fellow was, she went up to him to ask some questions and realized that he talks about a lot of the occult and writings in that. And growing up in Louisiana, there's a lot of paranormal things that tend to occur. So she was very interested to keep in touch with him and became kind of a pen pal because they're very, very far apart. And then once upon receiving this letter, it really made her nervous, but at the same time she was really, really excited to finally see what's going on and see what she could help in which way.
Fantastic. And Leg, go ahead.
Theodore actively seeked out Larry Croswell, thinking that potentially his expertise in the occult could help him contact his son beyond the grave, and ended up as being kind of like a drinking exchange of stories of more human horror from the war in exchange for more eldritch horror, in which Larry peddles. And yeah, they've just been occasional drinking buddies after book signings.
Fantastic. All of you last week actually got the first letter originally from your good friend Larry. If you're hearing Discord notifications, that is mine. I will turn that off. I do apologize. Those are off. All right, cool. And if any of the three of you want to read out that letter, it's Genius 1, the handwritten letter from Larry.
I can if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. And I imagine I put my own name in it since it wrote one to each.
Dear
of us, right?
friends is fine. That's what it was in the teaser, so
That's what I thought,
continuity.
No
Dear
problem.
gamers.
Right?
Dear
gamers.
PodChamps.
Dear
Dear
PodChamps.
chat.
Dear friends, as you know, I have recently committed myself to the state hospital at Danvers for a little mental recuperation after my most recent foray into the supernatural. I have made a terrible error in selecting Danvers. I am in great physical, mental, and spiritual peril here. There is a wrongness about this place. They will not let me leave. I must sneak this letter out to you as they read the mail here. Please come and recover me from this dreadful place. It would be wise for you to bring companions, as coming here alone is a mistake. Your friend, Larry Croswell.
Okay. And then the very next day, you all received another letter, a typed letter from Danvers State Hospital. If anyone would like to read that one.
Would you like
Yeah,
to?
sure. Yeah, I'll go for it. Dear friends, please disregard my earlier letter to you. I was having an anxiety attack. Everything here is fine. Do not come here. I need more rest and counseling. Thank you sincerely, Lawrence Croswell.
Great. Now, as the first roll, could everyone please roll a spot hidden?
In the spot. Anyway.
Okay. All three of you are kind of able to tell from the, without even even with failing roll, you're able to tell that the writing style of this letter is, of the second letter specifically, is not really Larry's. It doesn't have that sort of nuance. However, your character, Theodore, my bad, is also able to spot that Larry doesn't sign his letters as Lawrence. He always signs it as Larry. So there's something definitely up here in Danvers, Massachusetts, where all of you currently are. Danvers, Massachusetts seems to be a charming town with around 12,000 residents. Most have jobs in local cities like Salem or Arkham, which are only a few miles away. But they do live here in Danvers. The long road that winds up to the Danvers Asylum is bumpy and not well kept. It broods atop Hawthorne Hill, like a medieval walled monastery, a great Gothic pile of red brick and slate roof, harsh angles, and windows set like soulless eyes gazing out onto the countryside. The extensive buildings and grounds encompass patient wards, dormitories, offices, and many other buildings, all in place to keep a small city of the mad running with minimal contact from the outside world, even unto the next life. A potter's field sits apart on the sloping hillside, claiming those lonely patients without next of kin. And this is where all three of you now stand, right outside of one of the wards, where it seems to be the welcoming lobby is. What do you three
keep a
do?
question.
Sure.
How old does Larry appear to be?
Larry is around 30s, give or take.
Okay, cool. Would we have noticed each other driving in? How are our
Yeah, I'll say that you
socioeconomic
guys.
stati?
I'll say that you guys are now. You guys got out of your cars, be it your own car or you were driven up here, one of the two, and are now standing on the steps of Danvers State Hospital. You can go in. You can look around the grounds. World's your oyster here.
I think Peach would probably try to look around the grounds before going anywhere near the inside of an asylum right now.
Okay.
So she's gonna try to investigate the ground, see if there's anything a little suspicious before she goes in. So she kind of ignores the other two because she kind of want to keeps things close to the chest. So she kind of just does her own investigating without introducing herself at first, even though she's generally a very outgoing person.
Okay. What are
Do
the
we
other two?
recognize each other as fellow Larry letter receivers?
If you guys want to, that's completely up to you guys. If I think that would make sense, just to as a starting point, if everyone's okay with it. But up to you guys.
Theodore's holding the letter in his hand as he got out of a car. Although, watching Peachy go off on her skittering investigation, he would turn to the other investigator.
Eliza.
So, do you think she's here to commit or collect?
Well, she might perhaps have maybe a letter in one of her pockets, but I can't really tell from here because she already wandered away. But I'm assuming you got the letter too.
Yes.
Did you get both?
Yes. The typed and the handwritten. The first made me feel quite special. But, here we are.
Well, I'll let you believe that I didn't get the same letter then, except for the second one, because that one I did. I'm Eliza, by the way, and she extends her hand as a courtesy.
Theodore shakes a hand. Theodore or Teddy, depending on familiarity.
Sounds good. I'll start with Theodore.
And I have no idea who the investigator is. Staring after the grounds.
The camera pans over to Peachy, who is looking around. Can you give me a power roll, Peach, please?
Oh, let's get that power in. That's a good show. It'll let me.
Should be able to just it's one of your characteristics, not a skill. So it's one of the top ones on the sheet.
Oh, that's what I thought. Okay, hold on 1 second.
As you're looking around, you do kind of feel a palpable dread about this place. There's something off about it. And as you do that, you lose 1 sanity point. Please let me know if you have any questions on how to subtract that, but there is like an edit.
Guess I'm gonna edit my sanity.
Yes. Welcome to Call of Cthulhu.
Hell yeah. Alright, hold on 1 second. It's so weird. My browser tends to have trouble with Roll20 for some reason. So
actually, I might be able to do that for you if that
would be lovely because
I am on it. You now have 79 sanity. And this will get easier the longer that we go. Oh, I know. That's why I made you roll. So yeah, you're able to kind of feel like this palpable dread, and you're also on top of that just able to feel two sets of eyes staring your direction, not in any accusatory way, but more in a curiosity, as your fellow investigators are a couple of feet back, introducing themselves to each other.
Peachy just looks at the eyes and just does like a small salute. How y'all doing? Just nods and smiles, and then very uncomfortably turns away, and then sees the other two compatriots and says, well, based on my initial investigation, you two are the most normal people here. How are y'all doing? My name is Peachy. You can call me Peachy Keen if you like.
Theodore, I think I'm hearing two of her.
Yes, in Roll20 you'll need to mute Briggsy at the bottom.
Or you can say that. All right.
In character, I'm hearing two of you. It's paranormal here.
Yeah, roll for sanity. No, just kidding.
Yeah, it's like that's the sanity going, pretty much.
Briggsy's against us.
Yeah. Oh, my camera's even on too. I went the whole 9 yards there. Holy fuck.
I could not see it on mine. I apologize.
No, it's fine. Yeah, my character just has an echo in her voice. Yeah, exactly.
Just fully activate the transmission.
I'm
so
sorry. You
sorry
said your
about
name
that, y'all.
Peachy?
Well, my name is Peach, but a lot of people call me Peachy Keen, so
That's cute.
either one you guys can prefer.
Well, I'm
Do you
Eliza. Nice to meet
prefer-
you.
You
I don't
prefer
have-
Peachy Keen?
I don't have a preference. What's your name? Eliza? That's a pretty name. I love that name. I had a friend named
Thank
Eliza
you.
back in New Jersey.
Oh,
and
did you?
I did. She was
Good
very
name.
lovely, very kind person, very kind soul. Rest in peace, though. Got hit by
Oh.
a car.
Well, I hope it
And
doesn't
she just-
happen to me.
Hopefully not your car.
Confidential. What's your name, sir?
That'd be Theodore Warner. Lovely to meet you.
Lovely.
Teddy.
Oh, Teddy. Oh, okay. Well, I imagine Teddy's your familiar name, and since we are not exactly familiar yet, I will be polite and just call you Theodore until we get ourselves more acquainted. Is that okay with you?
I think that will work out quite well.
Fantastic.
You got the letter too.
I did. First thing I'm going to point out is the fact that for someone who has said that they had not an anxiety attack in the second letter, I can tell you right now with the first letter, he absolutely had an anxiety attack. I've had plenty of those myself. So I'm assuming that you guys know that, second letter isn't exactly from our dear friend. I imagine you guys know him as well. Otherwise, you wouldn't be standing here as well, right?
Right.
Yes.
Got it.
We both know Larry.
I just
Got
don't
it.
understand what he expects us to do. Like, why not we call the authorities?
Well, I don't think that's a good idea for many reasons. Mainly that my encounters with them haven't exactly been, at the risk of sounding cliche, peachy. So I'd rather keep the cops out of this if you two don't mind. I'd rather keep these things a little incognito.
Once committed to an asylum, some individuals start to lose certain rights, and that can make things legally complicated.
Yeah, believe me, I know. That's why I kind of wanted to investigate a little bit. I've been to the one in Trenton, and it's not exactly up to the highest standards in terms of care. But it looks like this is just as creepy, which means this is something I can probably handle. So if you guys are willing to have me, I can probably take you around what can be probably the more dangerous and more suspicious parts of the asylum.
I really appreciate that, actually, because I've never been around an asylum before.
Oh, trust me, dear,
Hospitals,
you do
not
not want.
asylums.
Oh, trust me, you do not want to be in one. I've been in one, and they're not fun.
Oh. All right. Well, it's good to have
Mulder's
somebody
had
with
its
knowledge.
share of not fun places over these last few years.
I
Do you want to
imagine.
go straight to the dangerous stuff or try the reception?
Well, forgive me for being a little paranoid, but I still don't know you two quite well.
As you
can you
say
ma-
that, there is a voice that cuts through that interrupts. Are you here for Larry? It's a woman, older, in a nurse garb, kind of glaring at you guys. Not necessarily the welcome committee, for sure.
Sweetheart, I know I'm beautiful, but can I help you?
Are you here for Larry? We were told we would have, and she looks over all of you, visitors for him today.
Oh, we're expected? Well, I wasn't told that.
I wasn't told that either. Okay, this is great. Were you expecting us, or I don't follow where your logic is going. It seems like you were expecting us instead of being shocked by that Larry would have visitors. Is there a reason why you would think that?
Can you make a social skill roll of some sort? And while you're doing that, can the other two please roll for spot hidden?
Social. Let me look. Let's see what I got. I got fast talk. Would charm count?
Are you being charming here, I think is the question.
Kinda, because I'm kind of sus of this nurse, so I kind of want to go
I'll
the
give it
more
to you.
positive route and give.
It's only turn 3. It's fine. Ooh!
Yeah.
Oh? An extreme success? Okay.
Oh, I'm super charmed. I'm about to smooch her.
An extreme success for horror first, rom-com second. All right. Extreme
I told you.
success for the
I
chat.
had a little bit of both.
Giggity. That's my kind of rom-com.
Oh no.
Got that horror
no.
rom-com though. Let's go with it.
An extreme success for the rest of chat it's a 5th or less of the full score, if memory serves. The lower you roll, the better your chances. As you see here, there's an extreme, a hard, and a regular success, and there are critical fails and regular fails, just for some housekeeping on the rules. But before we get into the nurse's response, Theodore and Eliza, you guys are both able to see that there is a piece of her ear missing on the right-hand side. It looks relatively new. Sorry, that must have been a really awkward time to take a sip of water. But it looks relatively fresh. She doesn't seem very bothered by that, though, and actually she's fully focused on Peach at the moment, as you see her there's an uptick of a smile.
Does it look concave, like it's a bite, like human sort of like teeth arrangement?
Or like a tear.
With only a regular success, you are only able to see from this angle that it's just there's stuff missing.
Is it
Nothing
from
that
the top
would
or
nothing
the bottom?
nothing that would affect the hearing of it, but
So,
she's
like, on
not
the lobe
wearing
here?
earrings anytime soon.
So like on the
Yes.
lobe here, like this.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
But you see there's an uptick of a smile, like half of her face, which for this nurse is saying something. And she simply shrugs and says, "Well, I'm assuming you got his letter. We could only assume that you would come fast because of his delusions."
I see, sweetheart. Yeah, we were kind of worried about him. You know, he has a really good support system back home, and we were kind of worried when we got them. So, were you able to describe these delusions to me a little bit? I'd be really appreciative.
I'm afraid only the doctor can do that, Dr. Berger. And you see she kind of does like relax a little bit. She was very like stoic at first, but she's definitely loosened up the more she talks to Peach. But with at the mention of Berger, you know, she kind of like hardens up again and turns on her heel. "Please follow me." And she walks into the ward.
Got a way in, guys. Let's go.
Well, that saves us breaking in at least.
You saw
Oh.
her ear, right?
That would have been
Oh,
more fun,
yes.
honestly.
Yeah.
I wonder if I was a patient.
I'm
Little
assuming
snack?
We'll find out. Oh God, I hope not. I don't want to get snacked on like that.
What do you mean? It's a cosmetic. You can consider that.
Absolutely not.
It's okay.
To each
Simply
his own.
cover the ears as we go.
I don't know if earmuffs are available, but find out in a minute.
Oh God.
Does the
So-
nurse go in through like a front door?
Yes, you guys are walking through the front door of one of the wards. Let me take you there in just a second. Please stand by.
Don't say Willa disappeared from my stream, and I don't like it. I feel alone.
You have 2 other people there. All right, give me one
They're my
second here.
We need a leader.
All right, so we're taking you guys over to the main
shit.
map. There we go. I swear I know what to obs. All right, so as you guys can see, you guys are coming in through H ward. And then there's an I ward and a J ward. You're able to see all the paths there, and especially that reservoir with the amphitheater right in front of it. That's what those are chairs, like seats that are buried into the ground. Go ahead.
Is it like down here where we like parked our cars and came from?
This way.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Wait,
We're
See
hold on,
where
coming
it
wait,
in
says
at...
yeah, you're coming
Yep,
in
yep, yep.
through that edge of H ward.
So from the path, correct?
Gotcha.
Okay.
Can you see the ping right now?
I can see now. Okay, lovely.
Yeah,
No problem.
that's where you
Sorry
guys
about
are
that.
right now. No problem at all. The parking lot is kind of like makeshift. It's very clear that there aren't any assigned parking spots, and it doesn't look like your cars are the only ones there. The
Oh.
staff park elsewhere. This is like a visitor parking lot, but there's only you three, and yeah, that would be it. So,
So,
you
yeah.
guys are. Go ahead.
Question:
Sure.
Does Peachy notice that there are only 3 cars? Only are 3 cars. Well, Peachy obviously got
Can
dropped
Peachy
off.
count
So
to 3?
listen, she can on when
Mathematic
she's
check.
not shitty. No, she wants to know if there
It's-
were because
it's
technically
open
Peachy got dropped
enough.
off. Okay,
Okay.
so I just want to know if Peachy notices that they were the only cars there.
You should be able to. You don't even need to roll for that because you can pretty much surmise from the conversations that you've had at this point that the other two did not come together. And
Got it. Okay.
if there's only 2 cars, you can safely assume. I'm assuming, of course, you two drove here, or did you guys also get dropped off?
I figure I would get dropped off. Probably took a train.
Okay.
North.
Theodore drove.
Okay.
Because I was
There's
like, Peach
only-
walked.
Right, and Theodore had actually gotten out of the car when you were like in the area, like looking. So you should know that there's only 1 car here, and the car is Theodore's.
Got
Because
it.
as you
Okay.
were walking out, that's when like all the introductions happened. So yeah, so TLDR, you know that they only have 1 car is only there. There isn't anything else. The ground also looks like it's a makeshift parking lot instead of an actual one.
Okay.
You can
Okay.
jump to your conclusions, but it should be pretty obvious here.
Okay, so yeah, Peach is gonna raise an eyebrow but still follow the nurse. But this is a mental note that she's definitely gonna keep.
Okay. So as you guys are walking through H ward, the first thing that happens is you guys go up to the like the welcome desk. It's just a normal desk that's just kind of like in a makeshift lobby as well. As you're looking around, you see that there are so many patients and not that many orderlies or doctors or nurses. This is definitely an overpopulated, hospital. As she kind of, as the nurse that was following you, or led you in, slams a clipboard, not keyboard, come on now,
Keypad.
clipboard on the desk and says, sign here, passing you a pen to sign in. It's the first 3 rows on the paper, so there aren't any information about anyone else that's visited recently.
Okay.
Excuse me, did we get your name?
You did not. Sign here.
May I ask your name? It's courtesy.
You can please roll for charm or whatever you think.
Mm, you can try to charm really badly.
Question: Do I still have the charm on, or is it gone now?
I was just about to say, she kind of sighs, is already over this. She says, my name is Nurse Jones.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Nurse Jones. Speaking of, I actually dabble in a bit of medicine. Do you need help with your ear?
She kind of like, when you go for your own ear, she kind of like touches her own, and then just shrugs and shakes her head. No, thank you. Please just sign here. We'll get you to.
But it can get an infection. You don't want an infection.
I assure you, ma'am,
Especially
the
working in a
doctors at the
hospital.
hospital are.
Oh, Eliza, don't worry. I have so many piercings in my ears. I know when it's affected. Don't worry.
Oh God, that's not a
Don't worry.
piercing. No,
No, I know it's not.
that's a
Shh.
wound.
No. Eliza, it's gonna be fine. Don't worry. Just keep a note of it, okay? Can you do that for me, honey?
Yeah, I got that.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Nurse Jones, so I noticed there haven't really been any visitors here, which is kind of odd to me. Is that normal, or is it just you just change the sheet each day just to keep for your records? I'm just intrigued by that. I don't want to dive deep into your, obviously your procedurals here. I'm not very nosy. I'm just curious is all.
Most people here don't have people to visit.
I see. Well, that is quite sad. I think the other thing I need to ask is, How long do people usually stay here? And she asks this while she signs, so she does this in good faith that she's not like disobeying her outright, waiting for
Mhm.
information. So she's kind of signing her name while she asks the questions, just so she knows she's on her side.
She nods towards the door, and the door is still open, and you can see that there's a hill that you can basically see from the doorway. There seems to be a bunch of some sort of plant from how far you guys are away, kind of in organized rows, and she just says, "Until they die."
Ah, sounds asylum.
Theodore takes the clipboard for signing, and signs as Teddy Warnes rather than Theodore Warner. So, what is the agreed discharge process should one wish to remove themselves from here before perishing?
She nods. I'm assuming, did you all sign the sign-in sheet?
Yeah, Eliza would sign after Theodore.
Yeah, Peachy's a fake alias, although ideally, given that her name is seemingly fake as it is, it wouldn't really matter.
She takes the sign-in sheet and she starts like doing some extra paperwork. And what was the question that you just asked, Theodore?
What would be the discharge process for someone to leave here before perishing?
Well, she kind of like stacks the papers a little bit. That is a question for Dr. Berger to decide. Dr. Berger is the superintendent of the hospital here. But recently we've had problems with Mr. Croswell. He's gotten more combative, more angry. He attacked nurses, you see. And that resulted in him being moved to the J ward, 2 wards down. It's not likely. If you were expecting to retrieve him today, I'm afraid you'll go back empty-handed. Follow me?
Okay.
We could still, obviously, you guys can still talk, but at this point, she kind of wants to get the party going, and you guys are moving through the buildings. You're going from H ward into I ward and eventually into J ward, but you do have a couple of minutes while you're walking past, as well as slowing down occasionally for the orderlies to take care of an unruly patient or a patient getting in the way, that sort of thing. It definitely looks like things are barely in order here, if you could even call it that. But everyone seems to be at least stable.
Am I able to take note of like emergency exits,
Yes.
Ooh.
locations as we pass through?
Great point. Can you please roll for spot hidden?
They do not have the green signs up.
Now remember, and
Well,
chat,
the
this is
exercise
also good to
broken.
know. You have luck, and luck is a resource as well as it is a roll. You can spend, for example, 3, 8, 6, yep, I know math. 3 luck to get that down to a 45 and pass the roll. Please keep in mind that you cannot use luck on a double down roll, which is you can re-roll something if you failed it and you take whatever happened.
I didn't mean to click that.
No worries.
Ooh.
And if you re-roll something, you pass it, it goes along with whatever the degree of success is. If you fail it, there is a worse consequence because you're essentially pushing the roll, is what it's actually called. I apologize. But you can use just 3 of luck if you would like.
Yes, I will use 3 luck.
Okay.
Sam's
so
like already in the room, like done.
that
Three-
means
three
it's
of luck.
47 for Eliza now for luck.
Mhm.
Perfect. You're able to see that there are, from what you can tell, there are 3 exits. The one that you just came in, the exit into I ward, and then the other one into H ward. However, you're able to see as you're walking through H ward, the windows are all relatively unperturbed, like unobstructed, and can be opened because you see one of the patients slamming his window over and over again while laughing maniacally. I ward is a bit more, you see the occasional like barred windows. And then as you eventually get into J ward and peek through room,
Can I tell the material of these bars? Are they iron? Are they
it looks metal.
wooden?
And And as you get into J Ward, you're able to tell as an orderly kind of barges through one of the doors, as you hear screaming from that one room in particular. There aren't any windows. They're covered over by padded material on the walls.
And this is for all of them?
For all of them in J Ward is the padded, the occasional iron bar in I Ward, and most of the H Ward ones are relatively free.
Got it. Thank you.
Yep. Does anyone else
So
want
is
to
this
look
the
at something
highest
as we're going?
security?
J Ward? Oh yeah. This is definitely where the most unruly patients end up.
On our way through, I want to look for any writing on the wall done by the inmates and what language/alphabet it's in.
Ooh. I love that. Yeah, make a spot hidden.
Smart cookie.
Oh,
God damn! Super
Heck
smart
yeah.
cookie.
gonna see some fucking Cyrillic over here.
Right? I feel like a fucking like papyrus scroll across the wall of like everything he needs to like get involved with the fucking J word.
As you guys are watching or walking through, Nurse Jones is explaining the various things that go on, how the reservoir is like the water tower for this place. Everything is pretty much like set in this small city within a city, or a small town within a town. You get it. All of a sudden, one of the doors open in I Ward. You're halfway through the little trek at this point, and there's a woman laughing maniacally, and she seems to be holding onto her head, but as her fingertips drag down, they leave red marks. And Theodore, as you're able to kind of look in for the split second, you are able to see something interesting for sure. And once I find it, there we go. Oh, that's not good. Give me 1 second, y'all. Sorry about that.
Hold, please.
Please stand by. I swear.
Stand by for Eldritch Horror.
It's the passcode for Larry's room, so we can get him out real fast.
Oh, spoiler alert, guys.
You
This is
thought,
where
but
his cabinet is.
unfortunately, no. Yeah, that would have been way different. Actually, this will probably work better. You'll see it on the screen in just a second.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ooh.
My chart's in
Ooh.
the way. Hold on.
In
Ooh.
particular,
Oh, hello?
My guy's got the 1,000-yard rule.
Stop it.
in particular, you see that drawing of eyes upon eyes upon eyes upon eyes. And you see what looks like bat wings extending out on some sort of monstrous form. And for a moment, in a weird way, you're with that extreme success, your mind flashes back to the makeup of the building. That kind of does look like a bat with outstretched wings. As you're pulled back into the present from the woman screaming, eyes, so many eyes, as she laughs maniacally, before running back into that room. And you're able to see from the window that isn't obscured, because this is J Ward. Sorry, this is I Ward, not J Ward. So you're able to look through. She continues with one hand drawing eyes, with the other one writing eyes all around this picture.
Would this kind of theme have been addressed in any of Larry's books?
That is a great question. Please make a knowledge roll.
Do I remember how to read?
I love these questions. You guys are so good. All right, sorry, go on.
1 sec, I'm just figuring out what knowledge is.
That is a characteristic on the top.
A lot of us are. Don't worry.
Oh, it's characteristic on the top. Oh, bloody hell! I have intelligence.
That is correct. Sorry, my bad. Intelligence.
Is
yes.
it okay? Ooh, Theodore's a bookie boy.
this, you vaguely recall, it's not something he's covered in his books, but this type of caricature is also not something that he's mentioned before. This looks like kind of like a half fantasy drawing, like some sort of weird, like maybe the patient is like not exactly well and is drawing something new. But knowing from what you know from Larry, there's always the possibility this is just something that Larry hasn't dealt with yet. Before we go up to Larry, does anyone have any other questions, want to do anything as you're walking in through the different wards? We'll even say, like, if you want to do something that's an H ward, you totally can. Like, this is all, like, the trip from H ward to J ward.
Theodore would just kind of, like, when passing that interesting picture, would kind of just, like, click his fingers to try and, like, summon the attention of his compatriots. A couple of regular Kandinskis in here.
Oh, what's these?
Kandinsky, they're an artist.
Oh,
Very popular lately. The art's actually kind of terrifying. I highly recommend it. More abstract, really.
oh yeah, I don't look at art much.
It's fine. It's kind of an acquired taste, but I personally enjoy it because it can be very, very scary. But then again, a lot of things are in this world. Is Peachy able to observe how many nurses / doctors comparatively to patients there are currently active in these wards?
5 to 1.
5 to 1. Okay.
Actually, please give me 1 second to make sure that's correct. No, sorry, 10 to 1. My mistake.
Ew.
I knew something about
there-
that sounded off.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Are there any particular conversations of interest going on as we pass through? Anything we could pick up? That
Please
might
make
be
a listen
helpful?
roll. Yep.
I'm suffering today.
you know, we all.
the fumble roll.
Do you want? Do you
That
want me to
is
back you
in
up, Liza?
That is, in fact, a fumble. So
No,
for
I wanna
anyone
see
that
what
doesn't
happens.
know, anyone that doesn't know, I believe it is
96.
higher. Well, that is, if it's
96
50 or
to-
lower, it's 96 to 100. If it's higher than 50, then it's 100, I believe, or 99 100. You fumbled here, is what the main thing
Sure
is.
did.
You burnt.
And the good news is you're a really good listener, Eliza. You are incredibly good at just like tuning into things that you need to focus in on things. And it's a shame that this is what you've managed to focus in on, because you're not only hearing the conversations around you, you also hear for a hot second, just, you don't know where it's from, but it's a ear-piercing scream followed by some sort of growl, some sort of something. You can barely make it out. As you also, it's just so much at once, very suddenly. As you also hear what sounds like burning, something like a fire crackling, and women
Does it sound
screaming. It sounds everywhere.
Oh, great.
And do we have to check in any items? What do you mean? Oh, we'll get to that in a
As in,
second.
like,
Yeah, that's
you
a good point.
hear the no one frisked you, if that's what you're asking. You hear the crackling of fire, the screaming of women in particular, the voice of somebody saying burn. This is something that only you can hear. And for a moment, for the other two, it kind of looks like you've just frozen in place. And please make a sanity check as you're hearing
Ooh.
something that may or may not have been there.
Where is my sand?
Oh my god, this asylum can eat
No,
my ass.
sorry. Not Briggsy. Just Sam.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
This
because
asylum
you
can still
can't-
eat my ass, though.
You can't hear it. It's only
My fault,
Eliza.
my apologies.
You're good.
My
You're good.
apologies.
You're
Well, the
you're
asylum can eat her ass, too, because clearly.
you kind of like come back to yourself after a second, but what you heard that as clear as day, and you can kind of still hear like the crack of fire, even as you are continuing down the hall with the rest of the group.
Coming out of this like quick moment of visual hearing, she's gonna be a little spooked. She's gonna come out and just, oh my god, did y'all hear that?
Hear what?
There's like
I-
fires and there's screamings and there's just a lot of noise going on, and I don't know how y'all aren't bothered right now.
Well, I've been here before, so this is like coming home. But
You
you're
hear
hearing...
that?
No, I don't hear anything. I
didn't
mean, I
hear
believe
any
you.
Fires.
I mean, I believe you.
A
But-
fire.
Still going
Where are you hearing it from?
everywhere.
That's not good.
Dr. Jones looks at you for a second, or sorry, Nurse Jones, my bad. Looks at you for a second, and then I think Peach, you might be able to tell that she's also looking behind Eliza, may or may not be an orderly who is starting to move in your direction at the mention of fire everywhere when there is no fire to be seen.
Peachy will move in front of Eliza to make sure the orderly doesn't take them in sort of a protective position. Oh, for those of you guys, Peachy's like 6'1". Peachy's a tall bitch. So she's going to stand in front of Eliza and just protect them immediately. Say, you do not have the right to take her. Leave her alone. She's just having a hard time. It's very uncomfortable here. There's a lot of people who are going through a hard time.
Why don't y'all hear the fire?
Eliza, shh. You don't want it. Eliza, keep your mouth shut.
So it was J Ward, yes?
Were we in J word for that? Or
I ward specifically.
Yeah,
This
I think
was
Theodore's just going like, let's change the subject and
Yeah.
Yeah.
not talk about Eliza losing her shit.
Yeah, no. Yeah, basically, Peach is trying to protect them and be like, Eliza, just keep it shut. We'll talk about it later. So she just kind of reassures her and just like pats her and just like, if you say anything more, they're going to keep you here. You do not want that. You understand?
Okay,
I
I
believe you.
understand. I
I
got it.
understand you.
okay.
But we have to talk about this later or they're going to keep you here. We're here on a mission. Just keep a note of it and we'll talk about it later, okay?
Okay, as she agrees to this, she's just kind of looking around as if looking for the sound.
You don't smell fire, for the record, and everything looks fine. Also, Gormless, thank you for the disadvantage for stealing Nurse Jones's promotion. My mistake.
Bitch got demoted.
Unlucky. But you guys, at the mention of like changing the subject, Nurse Jones does slowly nod. It looks at you guys. Peach and Eliza, you're able to tell that it's not exactly in your direction, it's something behind you. And she seems to relax a bit, and we start moving back towards J Ward. And she goes, yes, J Ward is where we keep the most combative patients that we have. We can only unlock Larry's cell for a few minutes. That's all we are able to do. After that, if you would like to see Dr. Berger to discuss further treatment, you can, but you must understand that this is where our most vulnerable patients reside.
Where was Larry before he was moved to the J Ward?
As an orderly walks past both of you, one of them's looking a bit closely at Eliza. Moving into I apologize. Not in a more in a. Am I gonna have to do something about what just happened?
Yeah, I
okay,
figured
just wanted to
that's
make
I'm
sure.
like, I don't know if you will.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
Peach just-
apologize.
Peach just stares at the orderly like, no.
Make an intimidation roll.
I was waiting for that. Give me that. Hell yeah. Get the fuck out my face.
15.
Get the fuck out my face.
Briggsy, you're too clutch. All right.
Good. It's a video game.
The orderly just looks away and goes to the key ring that he has, and there's tens of keys on it. It looks heavy. As he goes through and unlocks the door out of the stairwell, because Larry's on the second floor, or third floor, excuse me, and walks in and then unlocks another door that actually opens up into the hallway. There's multiple series of locks. Each lock, the guy has to stand there for like 5 seconds to find the right key. This seems to be very high security for these patients. Until eventually you end up at one of the fourth door down, where he unlocks the door, and him and another orderly step in before the rest of you as the nurse nods at you all and says, the orderlies will take you out when after 5 minutes. And then she just straight up leaves.
Thank you.
Well,
Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
All right, Peachy looks at Eliza and just, do you have anything to take notes with?
My brain.
Okay, let's not rely on that. Does anybody here, Teddy, do you have any notepads or anything
What
that we
does
can use?
that mean?
No, it's nothing bad. I just want to make sure you stay out of it because
I mean,
that's
I
how you
also
go
have
crazy.
notebook.
Oh, that's what I was asking. Whatever you hear, whatever you saw, I need you to write it down.
Okay,
Can you
I
do that
got
for
it.
me?
Yes, and she's reaching into her bag and pulling out this notebook and a little pen.
Yeah, the only reason I'm doing that is because, like I said, I believe you. I'm sure Theodore believes you. But we want to make sure we take notes of this, and also you need to write it down so it's not stuck in your head, because then you will go insane. Okay? Trust me, I know.
Got it. Can we take note of the room number?
It is 303. That's not a good idea.
You say 313. I'm gonna say fuck free world.
No. I said 303 first off, and that's not correct. Let's go with
Whole
322.
band.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
322. All right.
What was the fourth one down? We're gonna actually say 304. Because it's fourth door down on the right.
Oh my god, that used to be my homeroom in middle school.
Oh, that's unlucky.
That's crazy.
American schools have got a lot of rooms.
We do.
We really do.
All
right,
of them
anyway.
uploaded.
As you guys are able to see in room 304, you see Larry looking a bit warily at the two orderlies that are standing there, now in the room with you guys, as he looks up at all of you. Relief clear on his face. It's been a while since he's seen a friendly one, and you guys definitely fit the bill on that.
Hello, Larry.
Theo, you
Good
have
to see
no
you.
idea how happy I am to see you. To all of you. And he looks up at all of you, and he does take a moment to look up at the two orderlies again, and look at Theo in particular. He's trying to convey, like, he doesn't seem very comfortable with those two orderlies here.
Gentlemen, if you could give us a moment, I promise, whatever liability this hospital has for us being in here with Larry, we are willing to waive.
They look at each other and then look back at you. Please make a social roll of some sort. I'll take fast talk. I'll take persuade.
Yeah, let's go for fast talk.
You're not really lying.
Ooh, I'm gonna push the roll.
Okay.
What?
Casual Casual reminder that if you push the roll and you get it and you fail it, I get to have fun. No, sorry.
The disappointment on
You
their
don't get
face.
to have any
I
fun now.
apologize.
Ha, fun police hidden. Ha ha.
You know, we've got time. It's all good. But they
Feel like
look at
slow burn.
they look at each other, look at you, look at each other, think about something for a hot second, and then just slowly nod. One of them says, "We'll be right outside."
Thank you,
As
gentlemen.
they do, actually, you guys don't even need to roll for this. You just see that one of them has, as he reaches for the door, he has just a massive gash on his arm that seems to be healed or healing up, but it's definitely been sliced through.
Which arm?
Yeah, which arm?
Right.
Ooh, Eliza, write that down.
She is.
That's a very decent scar. I'm actually jealous.
Are you guys saying this out loud and loudly?
We're kind of like whispering to each other
Okay.
because I imagine we're like standing next to each other while Theo's kind of a little bit forward towards
Like
Larry.
front-running it towards
Yeah.
the orderlies.
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause she's like, Peachy's just kind of like leaning.
But this also
Right.
means as the door closes, you guys are now free with just Larry there, who visibly like relaxes and looks up at Theodore and says, Thank you. I don't know if I would have been able to tell you anything with them in the room.
Larry, what the heck? What is going on? What are these letters? What's happening? Are you okay?
I know I shouldn't have I know the risk that you have of being here, Peach, and thank you for coming. And he looks over at Eliza. I cannot tell you how happy I am, and I'm so sorry to have taken this risk, but you three were the first ones I could think of. Something is terrible here. All I did was ask to be released, and suddenly I'm combative, and they pushed me to the ground, and they said, Burger said that I'm in for quite an experience when the sky prepares to welcome the new moon. Just as he condemned me to this damned room.
Does he look hurt at all?
Yeah.
Make a spot hidden. He's currently in like a straitjacket, so some stuff maybe. So if something is there, it might be hidden. Never mind, you're good. It's fine.
God damn, we getting lucky tonight.
He
Let's
does.
go.
I know I'm the observer by trade, but you three are really giving me a run for my money. With that hard success, you see he's relatively untouched.
Okay.
But there is definitely bruising from. It looks like a bruise on his cheek in particular. It looks consistent with someone that may or may not have been punched.
Okay.
You also are able to see his shoulder, kind of like the straitjacket kind of pulls down on his shoulder a little bit, and you can see that there is a smaller bruise there too, but that more so looks like someone banged into something rather than it actually being like a forceful like punch or something like that. But all in all, it doesn't look like he has any broken bones. It looks like he's good to stand. He could do that. He's just in a straitjacket at the time. You can also, with that hard success, take a look at the bindings on. There seems to be something that is like binding his wrists, so that way like the thing doesn't go up, the straitjacket rather. And that seems to be a little bit more of a chafe situation, but that seems to you can't really see that because it's all covered. But you're able to see that it's like really tight on his arms.
Okay. Could she potentially, because she is somebody who carries like ointments and things that she's created, approach Larry and does that hurt? Talking about his wrists.
Oh, I can't get this damn thing off. And he kind of like half laughs in a way that's kind of like this. It's a little pathetic, but he's trying to make light of the situation. He doesn't want you guys to worry, even though the entire reason why you guys are here is because he's worrying. But he kind of like slowly like nods, and it would definitely help to patch him up just a little bit more if you want to roll for medicine.
Can I do that?
Sure, medicine or
try.
first aid. I'll take either.
There we go.
Right on the nose. He didn't. Usually with medicine check, you can heal up to 3. He only had 1 missing, so you're fine. You're able to just kind of patch him up a bit, and he's like, "Thank you, thank you."
Yeah, of course. You know it's what I do. I just want you okay.
I'm trying to be, and he looks at the other 2 for a second before looking back at you. You should know what I've seen. Part of the reason why I wanted you here as well is that book. I may have found something. And he looks at the other 2. Before continuing on, and says, Did you talk to McBride?
I haven't yet. Was I supposed to?
No. He's the reason why you got the letters in the first place. His brother visited randomly. He never does in all the years that McBride's been here, according to Andrew. But he did the other day, and that's how I got those letters to you.
Oh, okay. Then yeah. Well,
He's a friend in H Ward, and he looks up at all 3 of you.
H Ward.
That's where you were before you were asked to be released, yes?
Yes, that's where I was recovering nicely. In all honesty, this place is, and he looks around, weird, but maybe I would have followed it up for a book one day.
Right.
But what they're doing now, I don't know.
What brought you into J Ward exactly from H Ward? Can you tell me exactly what happened?
All I asked was to be released. That's all I
That's it.
wanted. I wanted to leave. I thought I had had enough of healing, of just solitude to get my mind together, and Burger, well, he seems to have other ideas.
I can tell you. So Peachy turns to the other two. I can tell you from experience. One thing asylums like to do is they like to keep you there as long as possible because the more patients they have, the more money they get. So it's kind of like a prison, in a sense, in many senses, to be honest. I imagine that, given from what he's telling us and looks at Eliza based on what you've heard, that the intentions are a little more sinister than what was normalized. For me, they basically sedated me for about 3 days before I had the ability to basically stand up for myself and did the same thing Larry did. And I said, I demand to be released. I am sane. I am healthy. I am ready to leave. And it wasn't until I threatened to burn the entire place down and sue them that they let me go. So,
I can see why that would be an indicator of sanity.
right. Well, the thing is, generally when you're insane, you don't tend to want to burn down a place and try to get out. You tend to want to stay inside the place. However, I think in this particular case, I know how he's feeling, and if they want to keep you here, it's usually either for one or two reasons: money or a cult.
This didn't seem like money. I have a lot of that, but it doesn't seem like that would be the case here.
Oh, don't worry,
The
Larry.
new
I do
moon.
not.
How long is it until the new moon?
Yeah,
We
see,
know
this is
this.
why I don't think it's for money, because you are not talking as somebody who wants to leave and they're keeping you for money. Eliza, actually, Larry, have you heard other things besides what they told you in terms of trying to keep what Dr. Bird? Have you heard any noises, any strange sounds, any other abnormalities for an
Only
asylum?
for an asylum, no. I haven't heard anything. You said that you heard something, Eliza? Also, really quick, can everyone please give me natural world checks to see if you guys know when the next new moon is?
I don't.
Please, I don't know in real life. You think I'm gonna know in this damn game?
Fair.
Natural order. Oh, that's fine.
Ooh.
It
We
is
have
But
a
in,
grade.
Eliza does.
It makes sense for her.
yeah. It is in 4 days.
Well, it's in 4 days, but I heard a lot of burning when I was going through H Ward, and I still kind of hear it now, right?
It's faded off considerably, but it wasn't like it faded off the farther you got away from your location. It just seems to like cross itself out. Like it just kind of like faded out in some way.
But yeah, I heard it, and it was a lot of screaming, and it was just very loud, and I'm surprised nobody else could hear it. Have you heard it?
Me, no, burning, you said.
Yeah.
I mean, we would smell it from here if there was anything burning that made like that loud of a sound that you're describing. I haven't heard anything of that sort.
It's weird.
Do we know if Larry has a wife?
He does not. He's a confirmed bachelor.
Hmm.
Teddy,
Okay.
may I call you Teddy?
Yes, do go ahead. I think this is going to make us quite familiar.
Fantastic. Let's be very familiar. You said you saw a patient drawing something, right?
Yes, it was a blobby bat-like thing with eyes all over it. I remember text eyes all around it as well.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't take a good look at that. So why don't you ask Larry about that? Maybe he'll have an idea as to maybe that's linked to anything?
Yes, have you been experiencing any themes in your fellow patients of people talking about eyes upon eyes upon eyes?
Eyes upon eyes upon eyes. You know, what if, and as he starts that, the two orderlies come back in. Time's up. We've got to go.
Oh, can
Peach-
we just have a couple
Peach-
more minutes?
Peach steps in between. Just 30 seconds. 30 more seconds.
Can you make a investigative, like, persuasion check with disadvantage?
Thanks, Gorm! How do I do?
You just roll twice and we take the higher.
Oh, bet. All right. What was you say? Persuasion?
Yeah, or, yeah, I'll say persuade here. I'll be a bit more tight on it, okay?
Fuck!
They almost give it to you, and then the second orderly says, he has an appointment with Dr. Unruh. We can't have him miss that. Please get out of the cell. We need to take him away.
Answer quickly, Larry.
He
Is there,
looks
like, a
terrified.
performance?
What would you like to do? Explain what you want to do.
Pretend to pass out so that like they have to do something so they can talk to Larry.
Let's take
Just,
a
like,
look.
faint.
Let's go, dude. I will punch one of them. I don't give a shit.
I think.
We're gonna
What
end
is?
up with an incarcerated
What do you?
party
What do
member.
you?
I
What
don't
do
give a
you
shit. I've
think?
been there before. I'll make my way out again. I don't give a fuck.
What do you think you should be rolling for it to try to fake pass out?
What about medicine? You know.
Don't you? No, you don't have. Do you have anthropology by any chance? This is a.
I do.
Well, you know what? You know what? No,
That's
actually,
a good point. Deception.
I like
Do you have a
deception.
deception?
I also like medicine
Acting.
because I do like medicine because
What'd you
you
say,
are.
What'd you say, Lex?
Acting.
No one else is acting.
Shit.
I do like either deception if there is like it's not a fast talk. I'll give you medicine because you're so like qualified in medicine that you might be able to tell.
Let's go.
Great. Fantastic. Wonderful.
You just see Eliza drop.
Oh!
And like
Peach just catches.
y'all
her
have
with
no
her arm.
idea that she faked this.
Can Peach catch her before
It's
she falls to the ground?
so yeah, give me a strength check or dex. No, we'll do dex. We'll do dex. Cuz you need to be fast.
I'm a dropper.
You can use 3 luck. You can use 3 luck if you want.
I'm gonna do that. How do I do
Okay.
Aw.
So on your roll 20 sheet, if you hit the edit mode on the upper right, you can edit the properties. And you should be able to subtract 3 luck from there. But as this happens, all of a sudden you just see Eliza drop and Peach grab her very suddenly. And it's such a good performance that Larry, who has no idea what's going on, is instantly panicked. He does not know why is this all he heard is that you heard burning. You heard burning that wasn't there. You heard screams that weren't there, and now you're suddenly passing out. Oh, this is bad. So he's immediately trying to get to you, but unfortunately, the orderlies now think that he's trying to attack you three
Oh.
and pull him out anyways.
What? Even with a hard success?
Damn, good job, Eliza. You fucking.
No, it was such the hard success is it was so convincing you even caught Larry.
Oh.
Larry.
Well, good job, Eliza. Like fucking.
As they walk out of the room, she's gonna be like, oh, "Dang it!"
Listen, be
You
gentle
hear him
with my
screaming.
half-brother.
You hear him screaming down the hall Eliza's name because he's so concerned after everything that's happened. He's very, very concerned for your well-being. But
Well-
he is brought down the hall to see the good doctor. As the orderlies, the one orderly did that. The other orderly stays with you guys. And he kind of looks at all three of you and goes, "Do you want to talk to Burger or do you want to get out of here?"
We want to talk to Burger. She's just dehydrated. She's just, it's kind of hot in here. A lot of the times these things are sort of, automated. We can only get drinks at certain times. You guys don't really have many water fountains here.
Burger
couple
would
would
probably
be
want to
nice.
see her anyway for liability's sake, considering.
Right.
the,
I will sue.
I
don't want to sue.
Sorry.
Oh no, I want to see the doctor.
I do. I said yes. Yes, that's what I said. I
He-
want to see the doctor.
He sighs. This is the one that wasn't really talking to you guys originally, but now he is. This is not the one that has the scar on his arm. This is
So he's
the
not the
other
cute
one.
so I'm not even paying him any mind. All right, bet.
I mean, roll a spot hidden, see if he's cute. I don't care.
No, I don't see. He's blank face. I got no face recognition. I don't know. He's
Yeah,
neutral.
yeah.
He's too far away and you're nearsighted.
Far away. He's blurred. I don't got my glasses on. I'm in a very desperate. I'm trying to hold Eliza up at this point. It's fine.
That's fair. Side note, but Sam, I appreciate that you mentioned in your stream that you want to turn it into a rom-com, and really, this is going real
You're only
good.
fulfilling my fantasy. I'm just saying. You're just helping
Limit
me out.
testing.
Love that.
Hey,
Love that for
Dr.
us.
Because it was either going to be him or the lizard, so you kind of saved me a little bit.
Anyway, we are moving on. The lizard, by the way, was the cover art for the Doors to Darkness thing. It looks like this. Oh my god, we're never gonna be finished with this scenario. All right, so moving on. You guys are at Burger's office. Eliza. Eliza gets a chair. Is offered a chair rather, and Burger immediately goes to work, trying to see if anything is wrong. Puts like a light up to your eye and does all bunch of medical stuff. Sure. As he's kind of checking you over, as he does. He doesn't exactly look pleased to see you all. He looks like he would rather be anywhere but here.
Like most doctors.
Talking to you all in particular. And he kind of half says to you three, this is why he was put into J ward. He's obviously too much of a danger to himself and others that he made this poor lady faint. He really should move his room.
How many times on Larry? I didn't faint because of him.
Yeah, how many times do I gotta say this?
It's hot in that room.
Dehydrated. Like what kind of doctor are you? Are you?
And what
are your glasses on?
And what did we hear about you hearing about burning somewhere?
Yeah, because it's hot.
Can someone make can people make a knowledge check?
All right, let's do it.
Intelligence.
Yes.
Intelligence. Sorry.
You know, I'm just stupid. Don't worry about it. I'm all beauty. No brains.
Oh, Eliza, you passed, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So Eliza and Theodore, you're able to kind of, unless the nurse must have either gone up here or something, but you guys just arrived. It's very peculiar that he knows about that note, because the only people that did are the orderlies that you saw and the head nurse. So either the head nurse told him, but she's nowhere to be seen. He looks back up at all of you, says, I see that I was told that you are looking for his release. Is that true?
Yes.
Is that wrong?
That would be accurate.
We wanted to release him. He's in good hands. We are his support group. We are his closest friends. We are able to take care of him post-care. And any outpatient care he would need, we would be able to provide. And
My
bring him to
profession is
if needed.
herbology.
Exactly. So we have the perfect support system for him here. I've had experience in an asylum before. I know exactly what care he would need. And we have Theodore here, who's actually a very smart cookie. So it's not as if he doesn't have a support system. So if you could just, let him go right now, we will be willing to sign the papers. And
he is ignoring Peach right now. The only mention here is for Eliza and the mention of a doctor.
Can I punch him in the face?
Make a fighting brawl.
Hell yeah. Punch him in the face.
Can you please roll for damage? Oh, wait, hang on. Wait. Don't roll for damage just yet. One moment, please.
Told you it was going to make your life harder.
For punching.
Hold, please, for violence.
I wasn't expecting to get this out early, but I guess I will. That's totally fine. Please,
I'm sorry, what?
Second. Nothing. Don't
I
worry
know you
about
did not just take out a big-ass calculator or some shit.
I took out the rule book.
Just
okay.
make things so much harder.
And you said this scenario would take a while. No. We're wiping in the.
This is called expediting.
We're wiping in the dialogue tree.
Yeah, I'm all about expedition. Like expediting shit. It's just in my background.
Please roll for damage.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh no, are you muted?
Am I muted?
Oh, there we go. If you were talking
sorry.
a second ago, we couldn't hear you.
No worries. I was asking, how do I roll for damage?
If you go to your character sheet, there's a combat tab. If you click that, you should be able to get to it. Sorry, folks. Give me 1 second. If you go, so in your character sheet, right in between the, like where, you know where it says skills, right under intelligence? Yep.
Oh,
There's a combat. Yep. And then you can.
Oh, here we go. Easy. I just, just a little cut on the nose. A little cut on the nose. It's fine.
Bit of percussive maintenance for the doctor.
I was just straightening his nose out. He might have a crooked nose. I'm just helping him out.
JPJF98 says, That's my dad. Punching always works.
See? Even your dad agrees with me. Also, nice job on the voice acting. It was very lovely.
You see, he stumbles back, and he looks not surprised, but definitely angry, as the orderly now is going to rush you.
I'm punching too.
You're going to, okay. Yeah, you totally can. We're gonna give you want to do, let's make it a strength check to see if you're able to, like, dex check. What do you think you should roll first for a trip? I'll leave it to you.
I think that's dex.
You're
Okay,
not
I'll
really
give you
looking
dex.
at
I'll give you dex. Okay. Right, I was thinking dodge. I was like, but that's half your dex. No, it's not. Okay. As the orderly rushes towards Peach, all of a sudden, like, you just happen to be in the right place, right time, still sitting, as the orderly gets knocked onto his face, kind of scorpions a little bit with his, like, legs over his head as he, like, scoots to the ground, and then very comedically the legs drop down. And then you hear Burger call for more orderlies.
That was an accident. My foot was just out. I'm sitting in this chair. It's not my fault he ran into it.
Yeah, I had a spasm. I don't know what you're talking about.
He is extremely angry as he points at Eliza and says, "Get her to a room."
Oh, hell no.
And then
to the front again.
And then to the other two, get them out of here.
Peach steps in front of Eliza again. And says, she was just dehydrated. I don't see what the problem is. If you had given this girl some water, we would not be in this situation in the first place.
Looks over at Theodore to see what you've had to say, since you're the only reasonable one here, it seems.
I don't see what's so unreasonable about water. I don't see what the problem is.
We still
the
have
punch!
to have a discussion.
The punch is the issue here, Pete.
I was dehydrated too.
Sorry, Theodore, continue.
Doctor, we still have to have a reasonable discussion. No one's here
A reasonable discussion? Is that what you're saying?
I just want some
You
water.
hurt one of my men, you punched me, and you want a reasonable discussion.
It was a peace tap.
I have had enough of all three of you. There's no way in hell you're getting Larry out of here. He straightens back up, and he looks at the orderly on the ground as 4 more show up at the room. I will give you 1 more chance to walk out of here. And if you don't, there will be consequences. He is right up in Theodore's face at this point.
You seem like a man who's done his fair share of intimidation. Did you ever look a crowd in the eye?
Intimidation implies only words. I can do a lot more than that here.
Hey, you gotta say something before I kill this fool.
You can do it here. Have you done it in no man's land? Have you seen what intimidation truly is?
Son, I have seen the face of hell itself, and it is nothing compared to what you have faced. He sits back. He stands back. He's still standing tall. He's also relatively tall. Last chance.
We shall take Liza with us.
For now.
I appreciate your patience, Doctor.
It's running thin.
Aren't we all? Theodore looks over to the other pair, wondering what the plan of action may be.
The 4 orderlies step in. They're not attacking anybody. They're just stepping in to keep the exit to the room clear. Go.
Eliza's gonna reach into her little pouch and pull out a band-aid to hand to the person she tripped. I'm real sorry about that. I hope it doesn't hurt too much.
Everyone tensed when you put a hand in your pocket. And then the one on the ground. Can you roll charm really quick? Just real fast.
Wasn't good last time. Not good this time.
Rip.
He takes it. That's about as good as you're gonna get here. But he does take it.
Snatches it.
All I can ask.
He exactly. Give me the fucking thing. As he stands up, the orderlies are out of the way for the exit. Burger, you may have maybe 5 more seconds left to act. What do you do? 5?
Quick question, Burger. You said that you seen hell. May I ask what that means?
Do you want to see it? If not, get out
Well,
of
if you can
here.
describe it to me.
Take her. Orderlies take a step.
Oh,
Just a question.
it's just a question. I was just asking.
I didn't throw no punches. Except for
Dude,
with my
Peach will punch all the orderlies. She don't give a fuck.
One of them is reaching towards you now. You can either leave on your own power, or orderlies take care of that for you.
She's gonna duck away from the hand and it's fine. You don't have to worry about it. It's just questions. I want to ask you any more questions because Mr. Burgerman hates that. And she's leaving the room.
While she's fast talking, I want to look on his desk and see if whatever notes are open look reminiscent of hospital notes or of occultish things.
Sure, take a spot hidden. Ooh.
Yes.
He's out of failure, yeah.
You see a couple of things. For one, you see a glass of water. But it must be a trick of the light because it looks like something's moving in it. That's weird.
Ew.
Then when you look at the rest of the papers on it, you see that there's a couple files that very clearly say McBride, Andrew, Croswell, Lawrence. There is a copy of the typed letter that you guys all got, and there is a big red, one of those red stamps that says J Ward on Larry's file.
This information is collectively relayed at an appropriate time.
Copy. But I'm assuming this means that you all are leaving the asylum.
Theodore is very much making moves, but we should be leaving.
Okay. Actually, I have to use the restroom. Can I find the restroom, please?
Yeah, my fist kind of hurts after punching the doctor. Can I rinse it out in the sink?
That was a long trip.
As soon as you say that, there is absolutely no. I was gonna make you roll for it. You don't need to roll because you're going to fail. The orderlies now are basically pushing you out of J Ward, and within a couple of minutes, you guys are out at H Ward where you guys started originally, right here at the entrance. The nurse is sitting at the lobby, kind of chuckles a little bit, not gonna lie, but then looks at all of you and says you are free to go for now, looking at Eliza, and just slams the door in your face. It looks like you guys are free to move around and explore the ground if you want to, or leave to go back to Danvers. But we are actually going to take our break, and we will come back to this when we come back. So about 5 minutes or so. Please stay tuned.